Alright guys, today's second video is going to be a tier list with the release of Beast Baek. I feel like it's time to do it. I'll do an update each release of a new hunter. I think that could be cool. And yeah, let's get into it. Quick disclaimer though, it's only my opinion. I'm not saying I'm the best player there is. Yes, I'm level 75. Yes, I have maxed out units, but there's probably people that know better than me. And I'm not saying I'm a god or anything. I'm just giving my opinion on everything. And yeah, so don't come at me in the comments because I didn't rank your favorite hunter as high as you would think. Let's get into it. Also with SRs, so honestly, I'm not too good about SRs. I'll be honest with that. So I might like misrank some. If it's like one tier difference, if you like that guy, you would have put him in meh. I put him in yikes. That's about the same, right? So I feel like he's ass, honestly. Just like him, his friend. Um, Honestly, that one's not good either. I'll do it quick on SRs because I don't have much to say. I'll be like longer on the SSRs because I know them better on obviously. Um, who else? She's not great. He's pretty bad as well, I think. And who else? Oh, this guy. This guy's a bum. Okay, so those six I feel like are yikes. Like they don't even have like one utility in my opinion. Meh is like they're not that good, but you could run them in some situation, which is why I'm putting her. So I used her once for her break poison effect. She has like a weird effect where it's kind of break but poison at the same time. I used it like on the golem for the Battlefield of Time, like the first one I think, or the second one I don't remember. So that's why I put her here. Um, she's decent. I've played her in the side story chapter 14 if I remember. She's decent. The ult is like correct. Um, she's fine. Like she's a healer. She buffs as well. She's cool for your second dragon team, for example. Uh, Same as her, he's cool for like the second dragon team if you want. Like he breaks, he gives shields. That's decent. And then I would put him probably because he does decent damage, I guess, for an SR. But like he's fire, so if you don't have Choi, I'm not sure about that, but decent, meh. Yeah, he's meh, not decent. The only two SRs I feel like are decent is that one because he has a 5-second stun, he has debuffs, he has the ability to like QT directly after his first kill. That's pretty cool. And her obviously because she's used on Cerberus. I know for people who don't have seal or like their seal kind of lacks, so I feel like she deserves the decent spot. And then let's get on to SSRs. So I'll do that in order from Emma to Bora. Um, I'll do Baek at the end, probably. Yeah, I'll do Baek at the end. So Emma, in my opinion, very good. Because honestly, she has a lot of good things to her. Break, decent damage, AoE damage. She's probably the best wave clearer out of all units. She sometimes does it better than Jinwoo, unless he has like Commander's Touch, obviously. But overall, pretty good damage. The ult hits. The break is pretty cool. The damage increase she gets whenever she breaks a unit is kind of insane. And she's a pretty good support for Choi, which, speaking of, is the first one I would put in God. So as I said in my Choi guide video, if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. He's good everywhere, except Cerberus, pretty much. But he's good everywhere. He instance anchor dungeons, you can use him in on the spider, right? Obviously Cerberus, I told you he's not good. Story, he's gonna carry you. Battlefield of Time, he does crazy good timers. He's probably in like all the best teams. Battlefield of Trials, insane. Like I said, story, he will carry you. Honestly, he's just super good damage. Gates, he's pretty good as well. Probably the second best DPS, maybe third. Moving on to Seo. So Seo is, in my opinion, the most complete hunter there is. so she's gonna be the second one going into God. She has pretty much everything there is to have. Shield, break, good damage, no cooldowns, good ult, good attribute, because water is a pretty good attribute to be, because you need it for Cerberus. I don't even think she has like a problem. Maybe the problem would be mana with her since she has no cooldown, but I guess that's normal. She's probably the best damage dealer over time, because as a burst unit, she's not that great. Like Choi and Choi, Lim, Baek have more damage like on a burst base, right? But over time, like if you take each hunter for like a minute and a half, let's say half a gate, right? And you compare the damage, she's gonna be all the way up here because obviously she has no cooldowns, so she can just spam skills. So I feel like she deserves God just as Choi does. Emma is a bit short of God because I feel like she's still missing something. I wouldn't know what. Probably because I see her more as a support than just a carry. I don't think she can carry a gate or like a content like these two do. Hwang Dongsu. Okay. At first he would have been indecent because I hated him so much. Now that I've built him and tried him a lot in gates, I gotta say he's good. He's good. Like he has great damage. His skills have little to no cooldowns. His ult slaps, honestly. And overall, he's pretty good, honestly. He removes shields too, so like on some bosses it's pretty insane. His E, the one you can charge, does incredible damage. It's the second skill if I remember. So yeah. The Vice President though is gonna be indecent here. They're not ranked in the tiers. I'm just putting him here because he's an SSR, but they're not ranked into tiers. That's the whole idea of a tier list, right? Just put people in tiers, don't rank them in the tiers. He's only indecent because he can break and breaks pretty fast. Honestly, otherwise he would be, I don't know, yikes, maybe. Honestly, he just was no damage. The damage are bad. I have every unit maxed out, right? Or at least with 8 dupes. I've tried them all with pretty good set, and he's just good for one thing, break. And I'd rather bring anyone but him to break. I don't know what they did with him. He's not good. Honestly, he's just not good. Min though, the healer, pretty insane, gives huge buffs. His A5 is arguably one of the best A5s. Is very good with Choi, his A5 for the ult boost. Very good with Seo for the crit damage boost. Honestly, he's just so good. The heal is negligible, I feel like, honestly. Could be worse, but you don't really use him for that. Now Baek, the base Baek, right? Base Baek, at first it would have been very good for sure, but then maybe he goes in good? Probably just very good. His A5 is pretty cool. The damage you get, like, his A5 is you get his ult instantly, so like it's extra burst damage, like if you're trying to clear things fast. And I feel like he's still gonna be very good because there's no other light character that can deal damage. His damage aren't great, don't get me wrong, but it's better than everything else. When Cha comes around, he might drop a tier, honestly. But for now, I feel like he's fine here. Decent damage, I guess. His break is very good though. I don't like his skills because his skills take ages to cast. Like honestly, by the time you press it, like you press it and then 10 seconds later he's still in the animation. I swear that annoys me so much. I'm not a fan of this guy, honestly. He's very good, but I'm not a fan of him. I hate his gameplay, honestly. But I guess very good is fine. Now on to Lim. Lim is probably going in good. He's okay for break. His damage on his skills are horrendous. And his ult is very good though. Like his ult is the main thing about him. I always use him with Min. Like I always do this Min Lim combo because they're so good together, right? He busts him so much. And like he boosts his ult damage as well. But outside of that, like he's good on a 10-second window burst, and then you just drop him away because then he has no use except breaking, which is like what, once or twice during a fight. Outside, it's not great. Honestly, not great. I haven't talked about support skills, but obviously Seo's support skill is the best, second best now that Baek exists. His is decent. His is pretty good. His damage increase, not bad. That one is defense down. But yeah, I think Lim doesn't go higher than very good. He's not decent to the point like where he's there. I think good is fine. Good, like they are, you can use them, but they won't carry you, or like they have big flaws. The big flaw of Lim is that his damage only comes from his ult. The problem of him is that he's wind and like don't have much of a utility except being a wind damage dealer. And he could be better at that as well. Bora. Here again, probably between very good and good. Probably just good. Bora is... At some point I felt like she was underrated because everyone was shitting on her even though she's not that bad. But trying her out, like she's good, maybe very good in some situations. Her support skill is pretty cool. That's one thing. She kind of needs a lot of dupes. I guess I could talk about that later a bit, about dupes, because obviously Choi benefits a lot from dupes. So does Seo. Honestly, their first and third dupes pretty insane. For Seo, having the weapon is a must-have. Bora needs dupes and a weapon. Lim without dupes kind of sucks. Min goes from good without dupes to very good with dupes, if not God, honestly. The one that requires the least dupes is probably Baek and Emma, which is why they're in very good as well. So I'm gonna talk about him before ranking him. So he just came out. We don't have everything about him, like we're not sure about everything. His weapon is still bugged, so we don't have his max potential, but even without his weapon, his damage are kind of crazy. And whenever we're gonna get a dark weak boss, which I guess we should at some point, I think he's gonna be crazy because his damage are insane. And like if you're only against one opponent, it's not as bad to like dodge and everything, so like you shouldn't be dying. Honestly, on that point, like because of that point, I feel like he's just very good. Because the only problem is if you use him in gates, he's gonna die so fucking fast because he gets hit from everywhere. But if you're against a boss, you only have one enemy, so you only have one set of attack to dodge. And I think in that scenario, he's not gonna be dead in like 2 seconds, and he's gonna be very good because he has one of the best damage output there is. From all the tests I've done, and remember the weapon is not working, he's probably top 3 best DPS, probably below Choi and Seo still, probably like third. Yeah, probably third. Seo being first, Choi being probably the best burst DPS. Baek is crazy, honestly. I hated them at first, then tried them out really and like in the good conditions without support and everything. When I talk about them, it's without support unless I'm mentioning it like Lim. And obviously if a unit needs a support to be good, obviously it kind of drops down his tier. But I feel like Baek is very good. The only problem with him is no additional effects outside of bleed, and bleed is a pretty bad effect. Like if he had break on his core attack, he would be cracked. But he doesn't. If he had lifesteal, he would be cracked, but he doesn't. So he stays in very good, and I think that wraps up the tier list. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing. Like I said in the intro, I'm not saying I'm a god, I'm not saying I'm the only one you should listen to, but I don't think I'm too badly placed, if that makes sense, to talk about Hunter, since I have everything maxed and I have tried a lot and I do a lot of gates and I play way too much. So yeah, I feel like I'm trustworthy enough to be talking about everything. But like I said, it's just a tier list, honestly. Everything can be used, everything can be bad in some situations. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in my next one. See ya.